Welcome. I'm Harmony Slater, your host of the Finding Harmony podcast. Over the past 20 years, I've taught thousands of yoga teachers and students to explore the intersection between ancient wisdom and modern everyday life, using mind-body practices to heal, awaken, and manifest their dreams from the inside out. This podcast is a sanctuary for those feeling overwhelmed by life's challenges. Are you ready to jump in and discover how these challenges aren't actually in the way, but are the way to finding harmony? Let's invite the magic back in. Hello. Welcome to 2026. I can't believe we're here. It's another year, and you're listening. There's something really important happening right now. And I think if you're a little bit sensitive, like I know you are, then you're feeling it too. January and the beginning of February, it's like this little bubble we're in right now that's acting as a buffer and a threshold period. And I know we like to think that it's the start of a new year in January, but according to Chinese New Year, we are not starting and entering into this new cycle energetically until, if you can believe it, February 17th. It's quite a ways into February. And so from now until then, we're in this liminal space. It's a bit of a threshold as we really come into this completion of the year of the wood snake, which we've been in since last year. And this is a yin year. It's a year where we've been going inside of ourselves and doing that deep work of introspection, shedding what's no longer serving us, letting go of the things we're ready to release, old identities, old patterns, really turning in and getting honest with ourselves. What are we ready to let go of? And then looking ahead, we're viewing into this new energetic year, which is a yang year in Chinese philosophy. And so this is a very activated energy. It is the year of the fire horse. And as I said, it doesn't begin until February 17th. And so this time right now is really important, and it truly matters because the fire horse energy is very fast. Think of a horse. It's galloping, and it's very hot in that it's getting us to move. It has a lot of energy there, a lot of heat, and a lot of momentum. And so if you want to enter this next year, this energy of the fire horse, you want to be in a calm, regulated place. You want to be able to feel embodied in yourself and really clear about what direction you're going, where you're headed, what you're bringing with you, and what you're leaving behind. Otherwise, there's a good chance that you might experience a little bit of exhaustion along the way because this horse is not waiting for anyone. So I want to talk to you today about why this sense of hustle or speeding up isn't going to work for you right now or as we move into this year, because it already has this energy in it. So right now, opposed to maybe all sense that you have of we're in a new year, let's start fresh, let's get going, I want you to just allow yourself to pause a little bit. Pause and rest and take this time. Extend that Christmas, New Year's, that week in between that's neither here nor there. Just extend that energy a little bit longer into January and start to really come into alignment within yourself. Not just like a mindset, not just thinking about goals or where you want to be, but truly embodied. And embodied because when you connect deeply inside to yourself, it is not just about being physically regenerative in our state and in our nervous system, but it's also being deeply spiritually connected. And I want you to be able to go through this year to surf in this momentum of the fire horse without burning out. Because burnout isn't just physical and emotional. It's not just something that happens when you're overworking or overstriving. It's something that happens deep in your cells. It's a biological signal. And it's also something that is a sign that we're out of spiritual alignment in some way. I know because I experienced this deep sense of burnout back in 2022. It was a few years ago now, but it was from all of the stress, all of that energy and dysregulation and overworking and hustling and changing business models and learning and studying and doing all the things and being a mom and homeschooling and getting a dog and all of the things that I was doing back then. And it was being spread too wide and not directed. And it was not being attuned to the way that I wanted to live my life, the way that I was working, the way that I was creating, the direction that I was going. There was a deep sense of feeling lost and like trying to grasp at doing so many things to create purpose. And it was being out of sync, not in time with the rhythms of my spirit, of my soul, or my body, and being out of alignment or out of connection with my soul's purpose. And so if you might be entering this year already feeling a little bit drained from the holidays, then please, please, please take this time to really soak up this last bit of the yin energy of the snake year. Really go inside, cocoon yourself. Look at what is absolutely essential for you. What is it that you really, truly love, that ignites your soul, that you don't want to miss, that you really want to bring forward with you? Look at maybe areas of your life that you've been avoiding or emotions that maybe you haven't wanted to feel, and just do a little bit of a self-inventory, taking note of maybe parts of you that you've abandoned or left by the wayside that potentially you want to invite back in or bring into the future with you. Very often we jump into these new year, into this time of renewal, rejuvenation. We're riding this energy, we feeling high, but we're not listening to the signals of the body, or we don't have a clear direction. We don't have that clarity of where we want to go. And if we're a little bit off in our direction and we're moving really fast with this momentum and this energy, we get to the middle of the year or September and we think, how did I get here? Where was I going? What was I doing? And chronic stress is one of the worst things for our body and also for our spirit. It suppresses the immune system, it disrupts hormones, it depletes collagen, it disrupts cellular repair, and it ultimately shortens our lifespan. And so when we're talking about burnout or hustle, it's not just a pattern in our world and in our society. It's something that is deeply depleting to our very being. So, as we are in this liminal space I want you to get strategic. Get strategic in where you are focusing in this coming year. Think about what you're ready to shed, what you haven't shed yet, but it's maybe that little voice in your head that's saying, hey, you remember you're supposed to let go of me or release me, or look at patterns that maybe aren't helping you, but are actually hindering you in some way. And try to build in some practices, some times, some rituals that allow you to get quiet and listen. Listen to the wisdom that is innate in your own cells, in your own body, and hear the truth. Feel what is no longer fitting with you, what doesn't feel comfortable anymore. And we don't need to rush this transformation. We have time. And so be with it, as uncomfortable as this place that's in between, the state that's in between the old and the new is, right? This time of transition is like getting stuck in an airport or something, or being on an airplane, right? We're not really where we were, but we're not really where we want to be. Try to stay in that uncomfortable space for as long as you need to until you feel really complete, that it's really complete in yourself, and that you have absolute clarity in where you're going, what direction, how you want to direct your energy, your mind, your attention, who you want to spend time with, how you want to be in your relationships, how you're showing up for yourself and for others, what you want to prioritize. Because as we move into this fire horse energy come the middle of February, this is pure yang energy. This is expressive, it's fast, it's creative, it's action-oriented, it's powerful, it's potent, it's energizing and amplifying, and it is going to take us for a ride. So, some things that you can think about as you prepare. What are your values? Have you done recently an assessment of what your top 5 values are? Mine are love, connection, resonance, growth, and truth. So what are yours? What are your top 5 values? Do you know what they are? And what do you want to create this year? Where do you want to be? How do you want to grow? What are you resonating with? Or where is there coherence in your mind, your body, your spirit? How are you finding harmony in your life? And then how are you nourishing yourself? How are you taking care of your nervous system? How are you creating safety and belonging in your day-to-day life? Maybe this is through your yoga practice or your pranayama or meditation practice. Maybe it's working with a coach or a therapist to help create that sense of stability or accountability or community. Maybe it's joining a program or stepping into a community where there's some regular connection with people. It's important to do this work, to have the stabilizers, to create the stable, to have the fence so that this horse knows where the boundaries are, right? And it doesn't turn into a wild horse running off, carrying you in every which way, in every direction, or trying to buck you off of its back, right? Create the boundaries, the stability, the container, so that you don't get run over by this energy that's about to be unleashed in 2026. And make your steps practical, okay? Most of us know what it is that we want to do, and we also know how to do it, but then something gets in the way. We don't need a new plan. We don't need another framework. Most of our problems are nervous system problems disguised as strategy. And so we feel exhausted, we feel tired, we feel resistance. We feel like, I don't know what I want, I don't know what to do. And this is all dysregulation. This is all our own inner process that's showing up as indecision, procrastination, showing up in patterns of numbing out or overworking, showing up as perfectionism, not feeling ready yet, a fear of being seen, and even difficulty celebrating yourself or truly, really receiving, whether that's receiving compliments, receiving big, joyful emotions, being in that energy, receiving good news, good things. Sometimes it doesn't feel safe to really be joyful, to really show success or to celebrate your success or to even be successful. We fear, as much as we fear failure, we often fear our own brilliance. We fear shining and success as much as we fear criticism and failing. And so doing the work, either on your own, if that's possible, or in community, or with a coach, or with a friend, or with a group of friends to really help you create alignment, but also hold your hand, to hold up a mirror, to be that mirror of truth, to show where we're avoiding patterns in ourselves, right? I have so many beautiful, wonderful, supportive communities that I am a part of that continually hold up a mirror for me, that show me where I'm not showing up fully for myself or my business or for people in my life, that reflect back areas that maybe I'm avoiding or I'm ignoring, or also reflect back ways that I shine in the world that I'm not allowing myself to see or receive. And this is such a gift. It's such a gift to be in the company of other humans who are walking a similar path as you. It's regenerative, and it helps you to feel safe as you're expanding, which allows that expansion to go a lot faster and a lot smoother because you're feeling like you're held in a supportive space. So these are the things that I really want you to think about as you're entering into this transition time, the time between last year and this new energy that's coming in. And so pay attention to where you're feeling pushed, where you're feeling maybe a false sense of urgency. Oh no, this year's starting. I'm already behind. I'm already late. This isn't your inner voice. This is a pattern, and it's an old pattern. And it's just pressure that we put on ourselves all the time. And maybe you can get quiet and ask yourself, start to question those thoughts, right? Is it really true that I'm behind? Is it really true that I need to act now? Intuition's calm. Urgency is often loud and feels pushy or stressful. That inner voice is quiet and it's guiding and it's coming from a place of love and it wants the best for us, right? It's not coming from a place of fear that feels like it's going to lose something if it doesn't move in this instant. What is meant for you, you will always receive. The opportunity will always be there if it's meant for you to have, to be in that opportunity, to step into that, whatever that offer is. Another thing to watch out for at this time of the year is over planning, feeling anxious, feeling like I need to do this and I want to do this, and getting into this sort of accumulation pattern that happens often. And it feels like planning is sometimes a way to avoid uncertainty, right? Sitting in that unknown, like, I'm not really sure where I'm going to be in the middle of next year or at the end of next year. Or I don't really know what the next few weeks or few months is going to bring. right? Sitting in that space of the unknown, in that liminal space, feels a little bit frightening at times. And often our response is to like obsessively plan or to jump into things or to say yes and make commitments. And often those commitments aren't coming from a place of clarity or certainty or inner alignment. It's coming from that sense that I want to know. I want to know what the right thing is. I want to commit to something so that I can feel safe and I can just know that's the thing that I need to do. And so it's totally good to commit to things. I really encourage you to commit to the things that are right for you. Commitments are incredible because they call us forward. They ensure that we're showing up, right? And so planning is great, but as long as it's coming from a place that feels aligned, that feels regulated, that feels nurturing, that feels good, and not from a space of fear and like anxiety that you're just trying to get out of a sensation of feeling uncertain or feeling like you don't exactly know the right thing. So I better just jump into anything, something, right? And then one other thing that I think is really important to do, and this is why personally I love spinal energetics, why I'm committed to doing my own work in this energetic field, because it attends to my nervous system and I receive sessions at least twice a month, mostly online, sometimes in person. But it's so important for me to take that time and that space to tune in to my own energetic field, both the field that's outside of the body, but also the innate intelligence inside of the body, in a way where I'm just listening and I'm letting the body speak to me. I'm letting that innate intelligence come up from what is often quite buried underneath a lot of noise in our society and in our mind, and let it come up and show me where I'm meant to go. Show me what the next thing is. Show me what I'm avoiding, what I'm not listening to, what I'm not seeing. Show me where the resistance is. Help me to recover from patterns of overworking, from feeling like overwhelmed or irritable or feeling exhausted and tired. And so wherever you are and whatever you decide to do in this year of the fire horse that is quickly coming upon us, please make sure you're taking some time, whether it's through meditation, whether it's with a facilitator in a space that is either a group or alone, but deeply listen to yourself. Do a practice that is infused with this yin energy, which is stillness, which is receptivity, which is going into the darkness, being in the darkness, in that soft, cool, moist space. Those are the yin qualities. I don't know if you need moist, but that's what came out. Sounds like something a little bit erotic, but the body's always communicating what it needs in order to move forward clearly. So I encourage you to create the time and space to truly listen. And if you would like to do that with me, you are welcome to do it. It is completely complimentary. As a listener of the Finding Harmony podcast, you can come into our Finding Harmony community, access the community. There is no charge. It is our gift to you as part of our family, as part of our Finding Harmony listeners and community. And because you're here today listening to this, and participate in the Moon Day meditations. So once or twice a month, I'm offering a meditation practice that is guided. It is live. It is with me. And you can also get access to a library of replays. And it's just a beautiful way to stay connected with a group of big-hearted humans, of spiritual practitioners who are on the path. And it will be a wonderful way to stay connected with your mind, with your body, with your nervous system in a calm, slow, still time. Just creating that time at least twice a month where you're able to go inside and connect. I also offer from time to time special community events in there where there's some group spinal energetic sessions as well as energy embodiment sessions. And it's just a lovely place to visit. So come in. There's absolutely nothing to lose, only things to gain. So as we close this episode, I want you to think of a few practices, things that you can do that will help you to release maybe old identities, old ways of being, old patterns, things that are no longer feeding your soul, no longer nourishing your spirit. I'd encourage you to get curious about what isn't really bringing you joy anymore, what isn't feeding you spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally, and get curious, get experimental, try something new. Maybe you like it, maybe you love it, maybe you don't like it. Let go of what you don't like and get into something that feels exciting, that feels like it's joyful, that it's connected, that it's filled with purpose and increasing your state of awareness and helping you to connect more deeply to yourself and others. And then also find that as this fire horse energy comes up and it's pulling you forward and it's creating this movement and this momentum and action-oriented focus in the world, being out in the world with people and with your family, with communities, then definitely make time to emphasize your inner practices as well to balance this energy. So things like meditation, breath work, journaling, slow movement practices, times of stillness, introspection, practices that really help you to connect and downregulate your nervous system. These are going to be so essential in 2026. And so, of course, you know my favorites, spinal energetics, pranayama, and the deeper somatic work where we're connecting to the emotions. These are foundational practices for me. And then last but not least, see if you can anchor the vision that you have for your life into your body before you go and throw yourself into action. Before launching a new offer or a retreat or a class, before constantly creating something new or committing to a new practice or a new group or a new thing at work, a new project, be sure you take a moment to pause and ask yourself, do I feel resourced enough to hold what I'm calling in or what I'm stepping into or what I'm about to create? Because sustainable growth comes from capacity, not just the desire. I have a million ideas of things that I want to do and want to create, and it's impossible to do them all. So maybe you're like me and you're in constant creation mode and you love creating things and you love that energy of creation and it really fuels you and it fires you up. And if you've worked with me, you know I have so much fire energy already. I'm already overextended in pitta and creative energy and just movement and action and being in action and doing all the things. And I love it and it fills me up. And so I get so passionate. But what I need to do, and this is why these yin practices are so important, not yin yoga specifically, but the practices that have the yin quality, which is slowing down, deep listening, introspection, stillness, being with sensation in the body as it comes up, is that it connects me back into my embodied state, into the earth energy, into the water energy, into that heavier energy that is grounding, that is sustaining, that is nourishing. And it lets the body take the lead rather than just this fire energy that wants to expand, expand, expand. And so allow yourself to grow from this embodied space where you're really checking in with your capacity and checking in with your truth and checking in with that innate inner wisdom before jumping into the next amazing, powerful, wonderful, creative endeavor. This is a reminder to myself as much as it is to you. And so the focus on my work has always really been, since this time of burnout, I really recognized at that time in my life, I was trying to take on the strategies and the advice and what worked for, I was working with a business coach at the time, what was working for her and her nervous system and the way that she ran her business. I was trying to copy all of her strategies and all of the way that she was doing it. And it wasn't exactly aligned with who I am and how I need to work. And there's lots of interesting things you can look into, like the Enneagram, learning about your Enneagram number. We've talked about that several times on previous episodes. And your human design as well, which is a lot about how you work in the world, how you can create sustainable action and work patterns and ways of being as you're engaging in relationships with others in the world or in projects. And so these are all ways of understanding your own energy and your own energy patterns, ways of being, ways of doing. But one thing I've really come to recognize and believe is that what's most important is your inner state. It really is your spiritual self, that you are a spiritual being having a human experience here. And so much of what we do as humans is try to change our state and get out of our human experience. And we're always trying to better ourselves and create more and get success in this area and that area and reach the top of that mountain and have this new experience and that new experience. And this kind of expansion is lovely and beautiful, but outer success follows inner embodiment. And if we're not connected and in tune with how we're feeling in our bodies, somatically, emotionally, and spiritually, then there isn't a strategy in the world that is going to work to help you expand or move into that next level of self-realization, whether it's in your personal life, in your relationships, your romantic world, or in your business. And so when the body feels safe, when your mind is clear, then this energy, this innate energy that's in you, can move without the resistance, without the blocks, without the static. It becomes clear and smooth and precise and easy. And that's alignment. So if you feel yourself getting in the weeds this year with too many things, too fast, too much action, I just want you to pause and ask yourself, how can I let this be easy? What does it look like for you to move forward in a state of coherence? What is your true capacity? And how do you want to align yourself? What is your alignment? What are you aligned with? What is the most important thing in your life for this year? What is your top value? How does that inform everything that you do? Maybe what are your top 3 values? And are you bringing those values into your relationships, into the way that you're being in the world, in your teaching, in your work, in your employment, in your projects, in your offers, in your health, in your relationship to yourself, right? This is the work we're here to do, and everything in our life is a mirror showing us something about who we are and revealing something about ourselves. And so everything in your life can be used as a tool for self-realization, for waking up, for your personal transformation. And if you want some support navigating these transitions, whether it's through nervous system regulation and energy work, or coming into an embodied business mentorship, or simply being held in a community that understands depth and consistency and being in it for the long haul, that you're not going to ever reach a state of perfection, but that this is a journey and we're walking, as Ram Dass has so poetically put, we're all walking each other home. And if you'd like to walk with me, you know where to find me, right here on the Finding Harmony podcast, inside the Finding Harmony community. And you can reach out to our podcast Instagram at Finding Harmony Podcast, or on my personal Instagram, Harmony Slater Official, or check out my website. There's a lot of places these days that you can reach out and find me. I am around. I'm very easy to connect with, and I would love to connect with you and hear about, where you want to go, what you're struggling with. And I'm sure there is a way that I have that would be supportive for you if that feels like your next step. So take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and trust yourself. Trust that you truly do know the way forward. And sometimes we just need a coach, a friend, a mentor, a guide, just to help us take those courageous steps, help us let go when maybe we're afraid to, help us see ourselves more clearly, to see what we're avoiding or the patterns that we cycle in, because we really don't see ourselves very clearly. And it's so beautiful to have someone or a group of people to celebrate you, to see you, to lift you up, and to support you through the highs and the lows. And I just am so excited to be here with you. And as I mentioned last week, we are just so grateful for you being here with us week after week. We're entering our 6th year in this podcast, and it's just a privilege to connect with you and to work with you in this way and to offer these beautiful conversations with incredible humans in different areas of life, in their spiritual journeys, sharing their spiritual journeys with you here on the podcast. And you are a blessing to us, and I hope and I'm grateful that you allow us to enrich your lives and your weeks and your days. So thank you so much. Happy New Year. And I look forward to another magical year with you as we continue in the Finding Harmony podcast. That's it. We've concluded another episode of the Finding Harmony podcast. I just want to thank you so much for doing the work that changes the world, starting with yourself. It truly does make a huge difference. Please make sure you have your automatic downloads turned on wherever you listen so you don't miss any of the upcoming episodes. I have so much more magic I can't wait to share with you. Lastly, if you're on Instagram, I love connecting and hearing from you. So come on over and say hello at Finding Harmony Podcast. And you can also come say hello to me personally at Harmony Slater Official. Thank you again for being here. I cannot wait to share more with you in our next episode.